Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the cabin. Isn't that a gorgeous sunrise we've got this morning? A little bit of snow, a little chilly out. -1. -1 on the thermometer there. I'm back at the cabin. I'll be putting in some taps today. It's maple season. Sugaring season started here. This week's going to be great. Going to be in the pluses and then down in the minuses at night, so perfect. Yeah, it's really coming down out there right now. We've had a lot of snow here at the cabin. Right now we're looking at maybe about 3 feet of snow, to be quite honest. When I was looking at my records from last year, every year, I do a journal here at the cabin every time I'm here, and there was 2 inches of snow in the field this time last year, and I was doing my first boil on this very day. So today it's March 9th, so that was my first boil last year. Now it's going to be the day I put in the taps. I could have put them in last week, but really with the fluctuating temperatures, a lot of them getting very, very cold, the sap wasn't running that well, so I figured might as well just put them in now. So this year will be some unique challenges in that the snow is extremely deep, and a lot of people making maple syrup this year have found that it's been a challenge kind of getting the taps in, especially if you're putting in a lot, to kind of trek all through the woods and put them in. It's necessary to have snowshoes to do that right now because of the depths of the snow. Areas where the sun's been at it, and the wind hasn't sort of, the cold wind hasn't formed a crust over the snow to, really pack it down with some of the dampness that we've had. It's really soft and powdery. You just pop right through. So there are areas where, it has a nice crust on it at the cabin, and other areas where it's just really, really, really difficult going. So today I'll be putting in, I just put in 5 taps. I put in a few just really close to the cabin. It's manageable, and I get enough maple syrup for the season based on that. We'll see. Last year, my last day tapping was March 30th. We'll see. We may go a little bit longer than that this year, but it's just enough to have fun, get out in the woods, and enjoy myself. So just for reference, this is sort of a calendar where I kind of summarize some of the exciting events that happen here at the cabin, in addition to the journal. So you can see here, maple season started here March 3rd last year. Lots of pine siskins were here last year, apparently, and I do remember that. Not here right now. And then there was the first boil on the 9th. If you guys remember doing that video, that it was really rainy, super high winds. I actually sat in the back of my car with the trunk open for shelter as it was boiling. And you can see the red-winged blackbirds were back, and the geese. And then the 16th, we had some woodcocks and grouse drumming in the second boil. Swans were back, and the frogs and the fox were around, and I heard the frogs on Sunday too. And if you see in the notes from last year, March 8th, I was able to drive completely up to the cabin. Sun and cloud +10, -3. Now the following day, it was down to more seasonal, +5, -2 with some rain. Gonna like a middle breakfast to get the day started. I've just got some potatoes and onions, and I'm going to put a little bit of kale in there. I chopped some on the chopping board, that's why it's there. Kale will go in last, and I'm also going to put some egg in there too. I think it's going to be really good. While I'm cooking here, I just see a little tiny brown creeper bird going up a tree trunk. That's one thing. Nuthatches go down, the brown creepers go up. Lots of birds at the feeder this morning, so pretty exciting. Some of the migratory birds are coming back. Already hearing a little bit of red-winged blackbirds, very few, but the early comers they're coming around. Don't see a whole lot of tracks, obviously, because it's been very, very heavy snow, blowing snow in the area. So a few fox tracks, a few coyote tracks, lots of turkey tracks. So that's good to see those guys out and about after a long, hard winter. All right, the magic of TV, we're all done. Got some kale in there and some eggs, and then of course the potato onion mixture. So let's have some breakfast. All right, let's give this a try. It's really hot. Nutritious and delicious. Just missing the bacon. And so talking about the birds, I We are part of the MIFTIP program, so manage the forest for tax sort of breaks. So part of what we do, and it is also one of my hobbies, is bird watching. And so every year I've been recording the birds here. So this booklet is from 21 to 25. So next year I'll get another one. I have one from before that as well. So I'm going to mark off the new year. So we kind of obviously keep a tally of what's been going on. And if there's any new things, one of the coolest things I've had here was a meadowlark once. So that was pretty cool. So I'm going to put in my little brown creeper because that's the first one I have seen this year. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm going to go find it. Oh, there it is. There we go. So I guess 23 was a year I did not see it, but it's a pretty common visitor here, especially right beside the cabin. All right, let's get at it. Looks like it is snowing out here and it's so nice. All right, so I brought in some pails, some nice pails for this year. The other pails from last year I used for other tasks, so just need some fresh ones. And some lids. You can get these at your local hardware store. The other one I brought with me, I brought a 10-liter pail as well. This is usually kind of what I bring back like to do the final finishing at home. So that I'll kind of boil everything down and bring it back in this. Ooh, look at that sun up there. That's cool. All right, so I've got my 5 20-liter pails. I'm just going to give them a little wipe out with snow. And I just got to drill 1/2-inch hole in the side of the top, just underneath the lid there. That's where the tubing for my my drop lines are going to go. And these right here are my taps, plastic, and then I have the drop line right here. So this is going to come out of the tree and into the pail. So let's get started. Like 2 seconds later, the full sun is out. Right. So I've just tidied those up a little bit, and we're just going to drill the holes now. All right, so I've trudged out here, and here's old Trusty beside me there, my maple tree that I've been tapping for several years. It's been doing very well. So what I need to do now is I need to dig down to the ground because the buckets are going to be melting out as it gets hot this week. Hot. It's going up to like 8-9 degrees at times this week. The buckets are going to start to melt and they might tip over. So I need to get it on sturdy ground and I'll pack it with snow so they stay, you know, nice and cool as the sap is running into the buckets. So my little shovel here. I'll just kind of dig in through here and create spaces for my pails. This tree will take 3. All right, it's got little holes in there and pretty flat. I don't want to put it on that root. You see right there, I've got a root. If I put on there and things melt, it's going to tip this way and the bucket's going to get heavy with sap. So I'm going to go right there. So that'll be nice and sturdy and that'll help me guide where I put my taps. Usually I like to put them waist height, but as you know, there's lots of snow there, so we got to kind of guesstimate. Ugh, it's getting warm. Especially that nice warm sun. My goodness, I love this. This is the time of year I just love so much in the forest. There's no bugs. It is nice and, you know, cool enough. But, you know, you can probably get away with one fleece jacket versus my fleece jacket and my puffy coat. Thank goodness for these snowshoes. They're easy to maneuver in the bush. They're round like bear paw. And durable. There's my other tree here. Another one there too, but it's got a good bit of sunlight, so I'll tap here. Let's get drilling. All right, so I just used my 5/16 bit and I drill slightly upward angle there into the tree. All right, it's got holes. So I have holes in this tree. As you see, like the sap's not really running super strong today. Sometimes when I drill into the tree this time of year, last year, I mean, it was just coming out like crazy. It was already dripping into the buckets. You can see sometimes when you're tapping, like drilling into the trees, you can see a little bit of the shavings come out a bit damp. So that's a good sign that things are going to be moving. The sun's in and out today. The temperatures aren't quite perfect yet, but this week it's going to be running like crazy. You can see this hole right there is looking a little bit damp. So this is promising. So I'm walking through the woods, I hear something else knocking around above my head, and it is a hairy woodpecker. Just had to check on the size of that guy. Obviously banging around in there. Sometimes those guys are doing their territorial calls right around now. But he's just poking around looking for dead bugs underneath the bark. We just give it a few little taps here with the hammer and we're good to go. Once we get our drop lines into the 20-liter pails, then what we're going to do is cover them with snow to keep them insulated while to keep the sap basically nice and fresh. And that's what they look like all done. Taps in, buckets are buried. So we'll see what this year brings. Every year's different. Is it going to be a long season, a short season? Who knows? The flavor might be different as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. So come along with me on this journey. I'll see you on the next video and hopefully we'll get to boiling very soon. Bye for now.